Okay, y'all see the title. Uh, Interesting title today. So, all this news about P. Diddy, P. Diddy, P. Diddy. I forgot all about R. Kelly. And the news has it today that R. Kelly, um, the prison bureau put a hit out on R. Kelly, and they had transferred a prisoner by the name of, oh, I forgot his name. It sounds almost like a Jewish last name, but uh, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's a lieutenant of the AB Aryan Brotherhood, and the Aryan Brotherhood. Um, well, let me mention this real quick. He has internal cancer, terminal cancer. So I wanted to let y'all know that off the rip. So you have this guy who has been a hitman for the AB, and according to him, the prison, the Department of Corrections, ships him from place to place to put hits out on people they deem as not worthy of being in their no longer in their facility. So the guy said, and he's going to testify on R. Kelly's behalf, is that the prison ordered the hit, but the guy who they hired, the AB brother. He was scoping out R. Kelly, and uh, I don't know if they say he had a change of heart, or I don't know if he didn't want to do it to begin with. And then there was a joke saying you got a lot of AB members that are fan of R. Kelly because of the Space Jam. Ha ha he right. But let's get on a serious note. So the guy walked up to R. Kelly and told him, "Hey man, they hired me to put a hit on you. They even moved me all the way from the West Coast, all the way over to where North Carolina. I believe this guy was somewhere in New Mexico, and they transferred him all the way to North Carolina so that he could do this hit on R. Kelly." And so R. Kelly told his lawyer, and so from what I hear, the guy is supposed to testify, and R. Kelly's lawyers trying to get him R. Kelly house arrest because the prison bureau industry is like a mob connected mafia family. Damn, I got to get in touch with Michael Franchese on this one because this seemed like this is the type of title he would definitely be interested in, being that he's playing Diddy stuff all the time. Yeah, this hit is very serious, and this AB member, I guess they assume because Aryan Brotherhood, it'll be easier to put a hit out on a black man like that. But the AB member, I guess, like anybody else, is they probably had an appreciation for his music and his talent, and so my cousin is in the same pot as R. Kelly. So relax and talk sports. Did you hear about the AB member is willing to testify to try to get so R. Kelly's lawyer is going to try to get him out based on him not being safe in the prison because this AB member was shipped all the way from New Mexico all the way to North Carolina. And so the lawyer is going to say that, hey, nowhere in the prison system, in the federal prison system, is R. Kelly safe because the prison, according to the AB member, said that the prison hired him and that this is not the first time he done put hits out on people, that the Department of Corrections is notorious for hiring him as a hitman. So, you know, this is very interesting because like the Epstein case, we know that Epstein didn't kill himself. So with this case, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. You mean to tell me, hmm, you mean to tell me that the Department of Corrections they hire killers within the system? Is it do? So, needless to say, R. Kelly's lawyer is going to try to get him on house arrest because he feels that R. Kelly's life is in danger because the AB member, the Aryan Brotherhood member, said that, yeah, it's the prison. And not only am I going to testify that uh, they tried to get me to put a hit out on R. Kelly, but they have made me done several other hits. Again, he has terminal cancer, so he doesn't care at this point. It's like he doesn't care. So he's telling it all. And he doesn't care about his safety. You know what I'm saying? He's lived in prison for numerous years. He's part of one of the toughest prison gangs. Blackson here in the New Carolina prisons are segregated. He will have to hard time killing a black because the black isn't going for that. Well, relax and talk sport. That's why they have torpedoes, which I thought it was weird because this guy's lieutenant, but the torpedo how they work is that they're kamikazes. I mean, the name torpedo meaning you can stab up and shank up who you want, but the thing is, you better be able to take the either the beat down or get beat to death or get stabbed back. So it's torpedo is kind of like a kamikaze plane, you know. And but which is weird because the story said he was a lieutenant. Usually, lieutenants are not torpedoes. Usually, it's a lower rank a prospect trying to get into the gang. And even though the white people, all whites are called Woods, all of them are Woods, but in order to get into the ranks of the Aryan Brotherhood, you have to put in uh, work. So, how the Woods work, the Woods, if a race riot jumps off, they're just supposed to jump in, but they don't necessarily do contract hits and all that. They don't collect money. They don't do any of the brotherhood's work, the Aryan Brotherhood work, except for if a riot jumps off, then if you're white, then you're obligated to partake in that riot. But as far as like personal hits or contract hits, business hits, you don't necessarily have to partake in that because you're not part of the Aryan Brotherhood. So this guy, he said he was lieutenant, but I think he was a torpedo. But either way, this guy, I don't know. I don't know if he's a because usually a torpedo. Um, but yeah, I do understand your point, Relax All Sports. Most of the prisons are segregated. Most of them are, and here in Georgia, they're self-segregated, meaning it's not imposed, but uh, you have to self-segregate. As opposed to California, it is enforced. It's enforced segregation, but I think they did away with that. But a lot of the prisons outside of California self-segregate. So yeah, Georgia self-segregate. So I'm assuming Carolina they self-segregate, meaning the blacks go where the blacks are, the whites go where the whites are, the Pisces and the Hispanics and the Chicanos they go in their corner, and then you got other, which is like the Asians and Samoans or whatever. But uh, in California, it got so crowded to where the Norteños and Serranos, the Northerners went with the blacks, and the Southerners went with the whites. So even it was so many Hispanic gangs. Yeah, you can't even talk to other races in North Carolina prison. Okay, okay, right. That's true. That's true. Right. So I do understand what you're saying, but don't they still have drug deals amongst the members? Don't they have drug deals amongst the members? Like, even though they're segregated, they still deal dope with each other. That's how a lot of the race riots kicked off because one person end up on another person, and if they can't resolve it like a one-on-one, then they usually then a race riot jumps off or somebody rips somebody off. But they can still. So what I hear, they're not allowed to eat behind like Aryan brothers are not allowed to eat behind blacks or hang out on their bunker and all that, but they can do deals. They can do drug deals. So They are do that. If it involves making money, and that's usually how things jump off because somebody. Remember, we're dealing with convicts, right? Somebody's always trying to rip somebody off, which I don't understand. But I guess because well, I got all my brothers behind me, I'm gonna rip this person off. You know how damn convicts think, and that's on both sides. I would say whites and blacks be trying to get over. So and the Mexicans. I'm not gonna speak on the Mexicans because I don't know, but I know whites and blacks they be trying to get over. They be trying to run games. So yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. They're convicts, and so, but yeah, what you're saying is true. They self-segregate for the most part. Like, say, you can't eat with them, you can't work out with them, you can't. I don't even think you can watch TV with them. Things that would trigger off a fight. They try to just self-segregate. But again, when it comes to drug deals, they will cross that boundary because of the revenue that's involved. You're not going to just isolate your dealings just to your group, whether it be the blacks or whites. If you're bringing in dope, you're gonna try to capitalize off of everybody. But hopefully, everybody that you deal with is on the up and up, so nothing jumps off. And so that's where a lot of the fights jump off. But R. Kelly um, apparently, even though it's segregated, they can still um, well, I don't know. You're saying they're segregated, so you're saying so you're saying the state enforces that? Does the state enforce that the segregation? Because maybe yeah, maybe okay. Because I know they enforced it in California, and then they did away with it in California. So my only thing is that they must self segregate because the states out of California. The only reason why California did it is because of the Black Panthers and the riots and all that happened back in the 60s. And so that's why they had to separate, you know, I forgot his name, the brother that was locked up. What's his damn name? Dated Angela Davis or wrote her letters. What was his name? The brother, damn, what's his name? The light skinned brother with the afro. Oh, I forgot his damn name. But yeah, that's why California had sanctioned segregation in their prison system. But I think when people started getting shipped outside of California, all these different states, they just self-segregated. But I don't think it's enforced. And so again, there are certain instances which I don't understand how this based on what you're saying that it's segregated. Hold on, let me because you know about the California, but he is high ranking wood. He could talk to the blacks. Okay, right. Yeah, the high rankers, the shot callers, and the money makers or the hustlers, they can talk to just like the high ranking blacks talk to them because most of the time it's transactions. Now, I would assume Relax and Talk Sports that because of R. Kelly's status, and just like P Diddy, he's going to have a status too when he's in there. Well, while he's in there, um, I would assume the blacks would give him some type of status based on his money, based on his being a celebrity, based on that. I'm guessing. I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing that would give him like he's not a damn. He wouldn't be a peon in there. He wouldn't be a torpedo. He would not be a bottom bunkie, which is a boy toy. He wouldn't be none of that because of his status. Now, because of his status and because he has money, it's almost like you can buy yourself to a certain position. Now, you're not going to be the top guy, but you're not going to be. You might can buy yourself into a mid-tier position, meaning you get all the protection perks, you get all the drug perks if you choose. of course, because he has money, right? So yeah, you're going to have perks, but you're not going to be a shot caller, but you're going to be in a position to be protected. The only thing that I could think of is that on Rec and Chow Hall and Rec, there is an opportunity for the blacks and the whites to go at each other. Correct me if I'm wrong, Black and Talk Sports, but there is a window of opportunity amongst the races to put hits on each other. And like you said, because yeah, this guy he claimed that he was a high-ranking member, Lorowitz. Yeah, that was his name, Lorowitz. It was like he had a Jewish last name, but it's not uncommon to have Jewish AB members. You know, to have a swastika and a damn Star of David. It's not unusual. He said, "You are right." So, Relax and Talk Sports. What I'm trying to understand is that this guy talked to R. Kelly long enough to let him know, hey, they the thing that people put a hit out on you. So he was able to communicate that. But my thing is, if the whites and blacks are not allowed to talk to each other, I would only assume because he's a high rank member and R. Kelly would be an honorary high rank member, then they're able to. When I'm saying Relax Talk Sports, when it come to R. Kelly, I think they were lenient. I think they were lenient in their rules. I think with just regular blacks, they're not allowed to talk to, but because of R. Kelly, of his status, there were relaxed rules. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm thinking because this guy was able to talk to R. Kelly long enough to say, hey, these people in the prison bureau, they basically was they're trying to they hired me to put a hit on you. So this is my guess. This is my educated guess that R. Kelly had relaxed rules. Correct me if I'm wrong, Relax and Talk Sports, but it's just an educated guess. It's just a guess, but I'm thinking if you have a celebrity, that celebrity gets relaxed rules, meaning that you just can't run up a drug deal in there, but people are able to talk to you. If you're a high-ranking member of the Aryan Brotherhood, they're like, oh hell, that's R. Kelly. I think they will relax the rules for R. Kelly that they normally won't do for just regular, blacks in the jails, blacks and Mexicans. This is because remember, the ABs relaxed their rules to bring in the Sureños, the Southsiders, which were Mexicans. So, and then on top of that, you have Native Americans that are AB members. So it's like, as far as the race thing, unless you're like a Nazi lowrider or any type of neo-Nazi, they're real strict on the race thing. The Aryan Brotherhoods, they're strict as far as being a high-ranked member, but they actually have other races that are part of the AB. Does that make any sense? Like they have Native American ABs and they have like Mexican ABs. Or, well, not Mexican Aryan Brotherhoods, but they have Mexicans that are allies with the ABs, meaning if you're a Southsider, uh, which is part of La M. See, it's kind of weird because in California, you got so many subsets of gangs, but I think the La Raza gang, they all fall under La M, if I'm not mistaken. And so, yeah, the La M, but I don't know if the Norteños fall under them because they hung with the blacks. They allied with the blacks, and then the Sureños allied with the Aryan Brotherhood. So, but anywho, I say that to say this. I believe that because R. Kelly is a celebrity, he got lax rules. I think they were laxed with R. Kelly, and they weren't so tense with R. Kelly. And I think this is why he didn't do the hit on R. Kelly either, because R. Kelly uh, is a celebrity, and he's most likely, from what I think, what happened is that this man was a fan of R. Kelly. And this is like he's probably thinking, man, I'm not going to damn kill R. Kelly. I love R. Kelly. I'm just guessing. Either way, he had a change of heart, and apparently this guy is not only he flipped on the damn prison bureau, but he's telling on all the damn thing. I guess he's gonna tell it all. He's gonna tell it all. And so the lawyer, they're gonna build a case of why they should get R. Kelly out of the prison. So yeah, that's the news with that. Oh, by the way, since we're on the topic of of La Raza, of the Mexicanos here in Georgia, in Buford Highway, yes, they are rioting. they are they are cutting. It's contained. They were trying to get it started, but see, here in Georgia, we got some big country good old boys, and we got some cornbread fed black folks too, and they don't play that riot stuff here in Georgia. So, needless to say, they tried to get it kicked off here, and they quashed that real quick here in Georgia. So yeah, they're trying to spread that, ICE riots. I guess you call them ICE riots here in Georgia, and Georgia, um, they were not having it. They were not having it. So yeah, man. Thanks for the likes, by the way, man. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and tell y'all about R. Kelly and just give y'all the news on that. I just found that very interesting. That what you think about the ICE riots? I think that the ICE riots, a lot of them, well, it all comes down to them fighting to be in the system. Relax and talk sports, meaning they're fighting to be on the food stamps. They're no longer fighting for the jobs. They're fighting to be on food stamps. They're fighting to be in the system so they can get married, get divorced, get their alimony, food stamps, get unemployed, get whatever they get to get out of the system. It's no longer it's no longer about jobs. Mexicans done caught on for that working for cheap stuff. Nah, they figured it out that it's better to live off the system, and they don't want to leave that system. All these migrants, relax and talk sports, are coming to be on the system, and they will fight. I mean, hell, they crossed the Rio Grande. They done dodged the damn scorpions and snakes and all that, and you mean to tell me you're gonna send me back? Hell yeah, they're fighting. They're like, nah, we're not gonna go back. We done fought to get here, and so that's what I think about the riots. They're fighting to stay on the system, but we can't sustain them in the system. Thanks to Joe Biden, we can't sustain them. So that's how I feel about the riots. It's no comparison to like Rodney King or Eric Gardner or somebody getting killed by the police or being their butts beaten by the police like Rodney King. So when um when when they started the riots based on the deportation and ICE, it's like well, I mean, I'm a Trump supporter, and a lot of black people voted for Trump, and they like, yo, no, we didn't agree to this, and no, so that's basically how I feel, and I don't think that black people, I mean, should get involved because it doesn't involve us. ICE doesn't involve us. Like ICE is not looking our way. If you're African American, ICE is not looking your way. Now, if you're Haitian, you're not supposed to be here, or African, then they're looking your way. But if you're African American, ICE is not looking at us. So I would say, as an African American, that's not our fight, especially when a lot of us voted for Trump. So I don't know. What's your take on it, Lex Talk Sports? And trying to bring the riots here to Atlanta is to Georgia. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because one thing about black people and white people here in Georgia, they're united by Christianity. Hey, black son, what up, good U.S. Army? What's going on? Yeah, the blacks and whites are united by Christianity, and they will. Uh, and because Trump, oh man, it's like yeah, mm-mm. Now I know the black people in California are different. They're a little bit more liberal, but here in Georgia, nah. Even if they're liberal, they still have to abide by the culture of Christianity, and the culture of Southern Christianity is not protesting and defending Mexicans. It's not. It's just not. And shout out to my Mexican brothers. I don't have no uh, disdain for my Mexican brothers and sisters, but I will say this again: that's not our fight. It's just not. It's certain things that black people will fight for, like said police brutality, but ICE is not looking our way. So, it's not a fight that, unless you just want to voluntarily get out there and impress the senoritas, okay, I guess if you're black, do that. But no, for the most part, brothers and sisters are not going to fight that fight because we felt a type of way of what the Democratic Party did, bringing all these people in and then taking jobs out. Because, the jobs they took away, as Trump would say, are the black jobs. The construction, uh, I can only think of construction right now, but, whatever job you could think of. Uh, he's selling those watermelons, but he wants cash only. I ain't got no cash right now. You just have to wait. So, anywho, y'all, but yeah, that's my take on the riots. What's your take, brother? Let's see, live chat. Uh, two blue cities, not three. Here in Kentucky, except our blue three cities, there are, oh shit, hold on. There are too many military retirees and rednecks for LA type of riots. Yeah, yeah, same here in Georgia. Same here in Georgia. This is a military city. Every every other fourth person is law enforcement here. So yeah, we don't no, they will they will stomp that real quick in here in Georgia. And then it's funny because not only one in every four persons a police officer, but one in every Hispanic is a police officer. So yeah, they not playing that here. They not playing. And so the Hispanics here in Georgia considers ICE their brother in arms. So yeah, it's not a good idea to try to kick that off in Georgia. It's not a good idea. But they tried. They tried to kick it off here in Georgia. They tried, but they put it down real quick. And that's why I said these riots that they're trying to start nationwide, they're putting them down because they don't have the really support of the people. Because when Rodney King went down, you had everybody supporting that. Everybody was like, I wouldn't say everybody, but all races was like, yeah, the police did that, been doing that to me for years. When I say me, I'm saying white people, black people, and all that. So that's why the Rodney King was so strong, the Rodney King riots. But as far as, let's see, Army says the Latinos, I know, all legal, by the way, hate these illegals. Right. So that's what I'm saying, retired Army, is that they don't really have a base support because, like I said, a lot of the Latinos here in Georgia, a lot of them are military, a lot of them are in law enforcement, and a lot of them own businesses, and all of them people I mentioned are legal. So it's not a strong support here in Georgia. This is not the place. This is not the place. L.A. being more liberal and being more gang infested and being more, I don't know, LA is a different type of city. It's not a family oriented city, whereas Georgia is a more family oriented Christian based city. And then you got military, you got law enforcement, you got people who are more structured. In LA they're not structured. They're more it's more anarchy type of stuff going on in LA, and that's why stuff can jump off easier in LA because LA is a thug city, it's a thug gang infested city, and so it's easier to get stuff jumped off in that city as opposed to a Georgia because Georgia, this is the Bible Belt and everybody is working, they own businesses, it's more structured, and so yeah, we're not trying to tear up shit around here, and we just don't have that mentality. And so, you know, uh, Yeah, we just don't have that mentality. We have a whole different state of mind, and everybody here is packing. They got they bear arms. So it's just like they what they say, an armed society is a polite society. I believe that. Even though you might have armed people in L.A., but L.A. is just the mindset is totally different. The mindset is totally different, and it is more prone for riots to jump off. Like, if you want to jump off a riot, LA's your place. But Georgia, no. I would say none of the southern cities. I wouldn't even say Florida is that type of way. Even though I'm not a fan of Florida or Miami, but let me tell you, Florida's structured like Georgia as far as like the professionalism. I don't like Florida for other reasons, but I ain't gonna get into that right now. But let me just say that Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia and Alabama, these are more. I mean, like I said, the Rodney King triggered off a whole different vibe. So yeah, but yeah, y'all, it is hot out here. But I got this AC blowing. I got to do some dirt tomorrow. Jeez. But but yeah, man. Shout out to shout out U.S. Army. Shout out to, let's see. Shout out to Relax and Talk Sports, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Yeah, but yeah, I thought it was interesting news. I read up on R. Kelly today, and yeah, that was mentioned. Yeah, he's trying to get out because of the whole prison bureau trying to put a hit on him. So I don't know. I mean, for all we know, R. Kelly could have paid him to say that so they can try to get him out of the prison. But anything's possible. I'm not, I mean, I'm just putting it out there, but I'm not saying that's what R. Kelly did. Um, but the guy didn't put a hit on him, and so the guy is spilling the beans now, and there's going to be a whole investigation. It's going to snowball eventually because this guy's going to, or either they're going to try to cover it up, or they're going to take this Aryan brother out. I don't know what they're going to do, man, because I'm like, damn it. If you're telling, they're gonna put a hit on you. They're gonna put a hit on you. So I don't know, but he said he has terminal cancer, so he may not care. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. So but yeah, very interesting story today. Oh, by the way, Trump is real quick, international news, real quick. Trump is setting the stage to cut off funding for Ukraine. Uh, there will be, I think the Biden flow of weapons and supplies are running out, and so they want to try to pressure Trump into renewing that. Trump ain't gonna do it. Trump is saying no, this is it. This is Biden's war. Trump is setting everything in place to divorce himself away from Ukraine. So there we go with that, y'all. All right, y'all. I'm pulling up. I don't want to. These kids. Okay, y'all. I live in a neighborhood where the kids ride the bike in the middle of the street, so I gotta cruise on home because the kids riding their bikes. Let's see. All right, y'all. Let me get going. Let me get going. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out, shout out, shout outs. With that being said, I'm out, y'all. Peace. Oh wait, SoCal starting to cut out. Okay, no problem. Yeah, I'm cutting out. I'm at the house. Peace, y'all. Thanks, Robcat.